You're watching KCCI 8 News.
Breaking news at 5. The cause of the intestinal bug infecting hundreds of Iowans is discovered. What it is and why officials say it's off the shelves. Plus, new regulations could make school in August a thing of the past. Why officials are proposing this switch and what school districts have to say about it. And
essentially, he's got half a heart that really functions.
It's a new state law officials say could save the lives of little ones. Meet one family who fought so hard for it to pass.
Now, from Iowa's news leader, this is KCCI 8 News at 5 in high definition.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
Bagged salad. That's what's getting the blame now for this summer's outbreak of cyclosporiasis in Iowa. State investigators say after interviewing most of the 143 victims, they were able to track down the cause to some bagged lettuce and salad. They are not releasing the brand because all of the contaminated bags would be long gone by now. The theory is the salad contained the invisible parasite after arriving from out of state or maybe out of the country. Most people likely ate the salad and got sick in June.
Particularly lettuce is something that will hold cyclospora just due to it's difficult to clean, and frankly cyclospora is difficult to take off a vegetable.
The Iowa Department of Inspections and Appeals is now turning over its investigation to federal authorities to try and track down the bad produce, but investigators say it's okay to eat the bagged salads now.
More breaking news this afternoon about a serious accident in the eastbound lanes of Interstate 80 happened just after 3 o'clock at mile marker 205 south of the town of Victor. Check out these pictures. State Patrol says both east and westbound lanes are closed. That's where multiple fire and rescue crews are on the scene of a pileup that reportedly involves 2 semi-trucks and multiple vehicles. At least one of the semis was fully engulfed in flames, and there has been at least one explosion in this accident. When should the school year begin?
Well, state law says not before the week of September 1st, but nearly all school districts are granted a waiver to begin earlier. Marcus McIntosh joins us now with a look at why that could soon change. Marcus?
Kevin and Stacy, a proposal by the Department of Education would make it a lot more difficult to start classes before September. Waukee schools will start in a little more than 2 week hearings, 2 reviews by a state panel, and 1 public hearing. Thursday, the Board of Education meets at the Grimes building. This topic is on the agenda for discussion at 9:30. Kevin?
Well, if it goes into effect, when would that be, Marcus?
Kevin, this could get passed as soon as November 20th, but the earliest it could go into effect would be for the start of the 2014-2015 school year.
Thank you, Marcus. An Ogden man is sentenced to life in prison without parole and is appealing his verdict. 29-year-old Joshua Powell in the Boone County Courthouse this morning. He had been convicted in May of first-degree murder of his wife, Jacqueline. Powell's attorney previously called for a new trial, saying that Powell's actions were not premeditated.
Some good travel news for Iowans. Allegiant Air is adding a 5th destination out of both the Des Moines and Cedar Rapids airports. Starting December 19th, Allegiant will offer nonstop flights from both airports to Punta Gorda, Florida. Punta Gorda, located between Fort Myers and Sarasota. Fares will range from $99 to $119 one way. It'll soon cost you more to read the local newspaper. The Des Moines Register announced it will be charging more for its printed editions. The paper says some subscriptions are going up more than 40%. A full subscription to print and digital editions will go from $23 to $33 a month starting in September. We're told the digital subscribers who do not receive the print edition will not be affected. And many of you have been sounding off on our Facebook page with your reaction to that price hike. Stephanie Schnobellen says $10 increase is insane. Who do they think will keep it? Timothy Collum added, not that there is ever a good time for price increases, but it's really all they can do to stay in the business. And Kim Creature says, I just say pay it. Help support the people who work there. You can like KCCI on Facebook to join that conversation.
Well, 4 of Des Moines' novelty pools, as they're called, will have extended hours for the rest of the season. Novelty pools like this one in Ashby Park, along with others at Martin Luther King Park, Pete Crivero Park, and Union Park, will now be opening up Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock instead of noon. City leaders say the switch is to better accommodate parents and the schedules of young children. The pools are open through August 20th. Probably a lot fewer kids at those pools today. Actually, a chilly one out there, Curtis. Any chance it's going to warm up pretty soon?
Well, eventually. It's summer after all. Didn't need to worry about the sunblock either. We have plenty of cloud cover out there today. Look at 85. Looks like low 80s as we head into the weekend.
Thank you, Curtis. News from around Iowa. Governor Branstad has ordered all flags in Iowa flown at half-staff Thursday in honor of retired Colonel George Bud Day. Day died Saturday.
Nomination for governor. The Council Bluffs senator had previously indicated he was considering such a run. Governor Terry Branstad still hasn't announced officially he will seek re-election, but he appears to be building a campaign staff right now. And Democratic State Senator Jack Hatch of Des Moines is also considering a run, as is Cedar Rapids State Representative Tyler Olson, who actually says he is seeking the Democratic nomination.
The University of Northern Iowa is trying to boost enrollment by lowering tuition for out-of-state students. UNI President William Rood says a tuition discount program could help lure more students to the campus. The school is expected to have 11,800 students this fall. That's the lowest enrollment since 1989.
Authorities in Ankeny are investigating an early morning fire at the Autumn Ridge Mobile Home Park. Firefighters believe the blaze started in the garage and spread to two nearby mobile homes. Officials are calling the garage and the two mobile homes a total loss. There were people inside both of those residences at the time of the fire, but officials say no one was hurt.
Grant money is up for grabs for artists across the state. The Iowa Arts Council says applicants can submit proposals for projects until Thursday. Grants between $1,000 and $10,000 will be rewarded. The council is looking for projects that demonstrate public value.
Turning to your national headlines now, that soldier who provided the U.S. government's secrets to WikiLeaks was found not guilty of his most serious charge. That was aiding the enemy. Bradley Manning received the verdict earlier today. He was found guilty of most of the remaining charges against him. Could be sentenced to up to 136 years in prison. The sentencing phase of his court-martial begins tomorrow.
And there's new information about the deadly train derailment in Spain. Investigators have learned the driver of the train was on the phone with railway staff when that train crashed. At least 79 people, including 2 Americans, died in the crash. The driver was charged Sunday with 79 counts of homicide by professional recklessness.
And we go to Florida now, where investigators are trying to figure out what caused a propane plant to erupt in flames early today. Take a look. This is the Blue Rhino propane plant. They're the ones that make those tanks you may have in your barbecue grill or RV. It's hard to believe nobody was killed after the wave of explosions that triggered this massive fireball overnight. Authorities say it could have been much worse. There were 3 30,000-gallon tanks of propane that did not ignite. They were found near the site. Investigators say they do not suspect sabotage as a cause.
President Obama offered Republicans a new solution in order to create middle-class jobs. He laid out his proposals today in Tennessee. He says he's willing to reform the corporate tax code in exchange for money for more jobs programs. He also added a list of ideas to build America's economy.
I want to offer new incentives for manufacturers, not to ship jobs overseas, but to bring them back here to America.
President Obama also outlined programs to develop new forms of energy. Republicans have denounced the president's ideas as more of the same.
From Mediacom.
From Iowa's news leader, this is KCCI 8 News at 5 with Kevin Cooney, Stacy Horst, and Chief Meteorologist John McLaughlin. This is KCCI 8 News at 5 in high definition.
Iowans love their fair, and they will go ahead and come.
If you build it, they will come. Yeah, we sure do love the fair. It's almost a week away now, and the Iowa State Fair is right around the corner. Dozens of vendors already out there getting set up for the event.
KCCI's Ben Jordan went to the fairgrounds to check on it all. Ben?
Kevin and Stacy, we're here at the Iowa State Fairgrounds with CEO Gary Slater. As you see, we already have dozens of vendors already setting up. What's going on?
Well, we're getting ready for opening day on August 8th. Just a little over a week away, and our vendors could start setting up this past weekend, and they are getting ready for what we hope to be a great Iowa State Fair. Probably have about 160 vendors. A lot of people come for the food, and we hope to be ready for them when the opening bell sounds.
And Gary, last year the weather kind of held out for you guys. What are you looking for attendance this year?
I think if we can get this nice weather that we've had in a stretch the last couple of weeks, and if just hopefully cross our fingers it'll continue. Iowans love their fair, and I'm just excited that we as caretakers have preserved this tradition. And of course, my favorite part of the fair is the draft horse show, and we have a really good one on tap for this year. We have over 13 6-horse hitches for the last day of the fair, so I can't wait for that.
All right, thanks, Gary. I'm Ben Jordan. Kevin and Stacy, back to you.
Thank you, Ben. KCCI 8 News at 5 will be live at the fair starting next Thursday, and one of the crowd favorites, as always, is the fair food. If you're going for some unusual treats, this year's fair has 18 new foods on a stick you just got to try out. And volunteers are needed at the State Fair for an opening day meal packaging event. The Iowa State Fair is hosting the event in partnership with Meals from the Heartland and other organizations. The fair's goal is to package 250,000 meals. 1,500 volunteers are needed to commit to packaging meals for 1-hour shifts from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can sign up online at iowastatefair.com.
Learning how to be healthy can be fun. About 35 campers are getting a crash course in healthy living. This is at the 4-H Center near Madrid. During this week-long camp, Iowa State researchers are teaching them about gardens and how to cook healthy foods that taste good.
I used to hate hummus, but we made some homemade hummus here, and it tasted really good.
There you go. Campers fill out surveys before and at the end, before the camp, at the end of the camp, and then 6 months after the camp. This is so researchers can see if the kids made any lifestyle changes. Now, coming up at 6, we'll take a deeper look at the camp.
It's a chilly day to be at the camp or doing just about anything else outside.
No, but you're right. Cloud cover out there. It's late July. We're talking very little sunshine today. Temperatures about 30 degrees below record highs. Is there a warm-up in your 8-day forecast? Takes you into August. Details next.
My name is Harold Finch. I built a machine of unrivaled power. Watching through every camera, the machine sees everything.
You can call me Reese. In another life, I worked for the government, hunting down dangerous men.
I'm Detective Carter, serving as their eyes and ears on the force. I got bored sitting in the car.
The machine never stops working.
If there is a person in danger.
Thunderstorms on Friday. It's starting to look like the best chance will be across about the southwestern third of the state, and it looks to be early on Friday, but they could get a good dousing of rain, about a 40% chance of that rain making it into the metro. Saturday, 80 degrees. Look for partly cloudy skies on Saturday. It will be a mild one. Right now, the rain chance on Sunday is starting to look like it'll be more towards Sunday night in through early Monday morning. Notice the temperatures, they just stay fairly mild.
Here in the metro, I'll show you why and where it is.
I'm Vanessa Pang near Madrid. Iowa State researchers hope to lower obesity rates by teaching 4-H campers how healthy can be fun and tasty. That story coming up.
And Central Iowa teams are taking over Principal Park for the boys state baseball tournament. Sports director Andy Garman has the highlights for us tonight at 6.
But still ahead at 5, it's a new Iowa requirement that aims to improve heart health in infants. Meet some Iowa parents who fought for its passage and their son who inspired them.
Hey, I'm Bruce from his wireless company. He could have switched to U.S. Cellular and been rewarded with a new phone faster, but why do that when you can just make your old phone feel new again? Happy birthday, honey.
Dad, this is my old phone.
No, it is not. It's got that new phone smell. Smell it.
And says it can save lives. Jill Kasperi has the story of one family who knows firsthand how a heart defect can affect the lives of little ones.
What are you making? 2-year-old Cole and 5-year-old Carter Lanka are always busy, especially when it comes to playtime. Both of them keep us on our toes. But the high-energy kids are something Aaron and Jeff Lamka are thankful for. Carter was born with a serious heart defect called hypoplastic left heart syndrome.
Essentially, he's got half a heart that really functions.
After watching their son go through 3 heart surgeries, they advocated for a bill that just received the governor's signature. The new law requires every hospital to give newborns a pulse oximetry screening, which checks for undetectable heart problems. The tests use a small sensor to measure the level of oxygen in a baby's blood. Low levels mean there's an issue.
Congenital heart disease is the #1 birth defect that babies are born with, and the screening targets critical congenital heart disease, which if undetected, those infants could go home and have an event at home which could be life-threatening.
I can't imagine going through something like that and being able to catch that while you're at the hospital and have all the resources to to take care of a newborn, to me, it's hugely important.
And then he has to crawl across the bridge.
The Lamkas believe this new legislation will save babies' lives. And they know catching issues early means more playtime and more healthy babies across the state.
And that was Jill Caspary reporting. Only about 65% of the hospitals in Iowa currently require the screening. Doctors say the test costs less than $10 and it's usually covered by insurance.
Other health news now. Choking in children is on the rise. It's one of the leading causes of injury among little ones. There's a new study in the Journal of Pediatrics that finds more than 12,000 children under the age of 15 were treated for related choking each year. That's about 34 children every day. Hard candy caused a lot of the problems. Also, hot dogs in almost 3% of the food-relating choking cases.
They're hard to chew. The hot dog is the perfect size to block the airway of a young child. And so that's why those are much more dangerous foods to give to a child.
The authors of the study recommend placing warning labels on foods that pose a high choking risk. We'll be back.
Friday morning, mainly to the southwest. Right now, the weekend looks dry, except for Sunday night.
And coming up next on the CBS Evening News, Bradley Manning guilty of espionage.
And we'll be back here at 6.
Yes.